For the 16th day in a row, I've been scrolling through my Steam library, hoping something will catch my attention and give me a great time, but I'm burnt out. It's not emotional burnout that can be held by a specialist, it's gaming burnout.
Don't have anything to play and feeling sad about it? We have a solution. Random Steam game packs with some low-quality games, but it's fun. And yes, we want your money. You'll get random game keys and you won't know what games are in the pack. Meanwhile, we get the money and we really love money.
Maybe this is the solution to my problem. So I started scouring the internet, browsing and buying every card pack from all the sites I could find. In a short amount of time my Excel sheet counted 80 games. But as soon as I started activating the keys, I quickly found out I had been given either duplicates or keys that simply didn't work. From those 80 games, the count dropped to 73. I grouped the games into 6 boxes, representing their genres. I picked 3 games from each box, and the Wheel of Fortune decided which ones I'd play. Let's start with something simple to warm up: puzzles. And the first game is Neon Space. The developers describe the game as fun and simple, but at the same time highly addictive. The goal is to drive your little spaceship from one end to the other, dodging numerous obstacles, solving puzzles, and discovering new game mechanics on your own. Sounds intriguing. So what is like in reality? I didn't even understand the controls at first. Turns out you need to guide with the mouse and adjust the trajectory with buttons. Very engaging. Next up, World of Bombs. This one's simple. Blow up bombs, destroy walls around you and move forward. But there is one catch. It's a 2-player game. Since there is no online mode and my only friend is a frog named Michelangelo, I had to rely on my split personality and play the second player with my other hand. It worked out pretty well.
Detonator charge. Me bomba!
And the last puzzle game on our list is a Trivia Night. It's a direct successor to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, or maybe its predecessor. The main thing to know is that it offers 2 languages, lots of mods for math lovers and words enthusiasts, and the surprising fact that somehow I managed to answer more questions correctly in Turkish than in English. I don't know Turkish at all. Let's move on to the second box, the Casual World of Wonders. Magical Forest is exactly what you need after such a tough episode with trivia questions. A simple platformer with spikes and, strangely enough, platforms. However, to be honest, I got bored within the first 7 minutes and 30 seconds of gameplay. The only highlight I can point out is this:
500 cigarettes.
And if you don't like the smell of cigarettes in the morning, how about the smell of gunpowder in the evening in the shoot-'em-up game Победа? That means victory in Russian.
Победа.
This game has everything you would expect from such games. Difficulty levels like vodka and Hitler, tanks, and, well, that's pretty much it. Moreover, you even don't really have to move much. Pew 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 pew. Pew 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 pew. And what about the vodka and Hitler levels? Why did I even ask? And at the vodka level there are more tanks, but even here it's hard to get killed. The last casual game is Square and Fair, which, to be honest, is a decent puzzle and should probably belong in the puzzle box. But I'm writing the script here, not you. So what's good about this puzzle? Well, you control 2 cubes that need to meet at a specific point. The key problem is that both cubes are controlled by the same keys. And while you're trying to move one through obstacles, you risk impaling the other on spikes. Oh, and sometimes you need to switch the color palette of walls so the cubes can pass through them. Quite nice. But still nothing particularly memorable or special came from this box. So I spun the wheel again to play the Rhino's Rage. Forgive me, please. Time for horrors. This is where things get more interesting. Let's start with Nightwalker 2. We play as a guy named Nightwalker, probably because he walks at night. And we, along with our friend Sally, head to yet another mystical village in search of treasure. From the very first scene, we are greeted by a dialogue scene featuring familiar characters. And then the gameplay begins. It's just walking or sometimes running through meadows, crafting various types of stones and exploring empty houses. Eventually we reach a lake with a giant tower in the middle and nearby town where Sally is supposed to meet us. Before heading to her, I enter the first house I see and find a strange orb that I can't interact with, and Sally waiting for us in the spider house. And as we approach, we hear a scream. It turns out, Sally accidentally broke one of those same objects we've been finding, and now it's tight for her, and apparently she's in another dimension. So we do the same, but now strange creatures are wandering around outside. In the spider house, a white ghost tells us that we should leave because Sally was taken by the white lady, and she's probably dead now. Oh, and by the way, the white lady's house is at the top of the slope, and we shouldn't go there during the day. Well, of course, we go inside during the day and experience a pretty well done hallway scene that I almost enjoyed. The woman in white crawled into our minds and wanted to us to jump off a cliff.
Because she's a big, fat, stupid bitch. Don't say it, Cartman.
So we come back at night, grab the incense, lure her outside and follow her into a cave to find out where she is hiding Sally. Then we burn her like a witch, and then we find out that Sally is actually fine. She found another orb, emerged from the darkness, and is now waiting for us at the gas station. We confront the white ghost for deceiving us, and he's like, sorry, I just wanted you to kill that white but if you kill 5 more regular monsters and sneak to the cave again unnoticed, we will reveal the treasure to you. And there is a basement with treasure. Congratulations! The second horror game, The Village, didn't go well. It just wouldn't launch. Too bad, because it looked like a good adventure judging by the screenshots. Moving on, let's play the Archetype, a trashy game that I have something to say about. We start with a very long intro, staring at a slowly appearing text with some subliminal flashes and ASMR-like audio of a guy trying to lick your ears. If you press the play button, you will see this. Apparently you are not just a 9-year-old boy, you are an emo airpan who is about to commit suicide. The next joke comes with pop-up text and notes that literally clip through textures, according to precepts of Todd Howard. Next issue, the lightning. I literally can't see where am I going. So we walk down some hallway and find a room where our dad is drinking, and he looks mad. Oh no, that's not good. Dad, don't do it. I'm gonna kill you, son. Dad, I just wanted to ask how you're doing. I'm gonna beat your ass, son. By the way, only now do we get told how to remove this madness. We hide under the bed, and the demons, probably alcoholism demons, kill our dad, and then they burn. We find some keys on Dad's body, unlock some doors, and that's basically the whole game. There are 3 more chapters that I couldn't figure out how to access, and maybe that's for the best. Since the village didn't work, we spin the wheel again and get Taiko Mansion. After the previous experience, I entered this game with no hopes or illusions and was pleasantly surprised. In this game, we found ourselves in an 8-bit world, somewhat reminiscent of Undertale, where we're trapped in a mansion by some evil guy, and we need to solve 8 puzzles to escape the mansion. We have a map and movement buttons to navigate between rooms. We enter the only open door and solve the first puzzle by clicking on that thing. This opened the next door. Behind it was a puzzle with a piano, and the keyword here is wall, a reference to the Pink Floyd song. And we need to play the main riff from this song on the 3 keys available to us. Next is a puzzle with flashing lights, where you simply have to count how many times each light flashes and input the number. Then there is a puzzle on chessboard, nothing complicated. Just move the figure until you reach the green square. After that, there is a puzzle where you need to press buttons in the correct sequence. You have to figure out the order by trial and error. The next puzzle involves a button that turns off the lights. Just click them all and you will be fine. Then there is a puzzle with a guy and spikes, followed by one with a box where I got stuck. What kind of game are the developers referencing here? Completely different game or a mini-game within this game? As it turns out, the answer was Metal Gear Solid, where by tuning the radio frequency to 14085, you get the answer to the puzzle. We contact Meryl, whose codec code was on the back of the case, put a smile on my face. The final puzzle involves 3 statues with 3 clues. I follow the hint which said go with the first thing that comes to mind. So I picked the first statue and won. The hint was actually really good. Now let's run through the strategy games, specifically Strategic War in Europe. And it's turn-based strategy and resembles Heart of Iron, but simplified about 30 times. You can buy divisions, manage them, scout enemy territory with spies, bomb enemies with bombers, and participate in rather unclear naval battles. I explored the game's map, learned the pace, and even started making progress, until the game crashed. Yeah. So I decided to test the second game that the wheel picked for me, Time of Fury. You would be surprised, but it turned out to be an absolute copy of the first game. When I say absolute, I mean identical interfaces, tutorials, and even scenarios. The game was released just 4 months after the previous one. These games are so similar that Time of Fury also crashed for me. For obvious reasons, I spun the wheel again, and this time I got Mom Master. In this game we play as a hot mommy mom, seducing virgin men to repower their hearts and turn them into a version of herself to fight evil Tomb Raiders who came to steal our treasure. From each defeated enemy, various items drop, consumables that you have to use wisely to upgrade your next warrior and ensure he defeats a stronger bandit. But no matter how hard I tried, they still managed to steal the mommy mom's cat. To grasp the final strategy, we need to travel to the mountains of Tibet and experience the life of a monk during meditation. Right now, we observe our mind as it begins to fight off negative thoughts with the help of a cold green tea, peaches, and that little purple thing. These negative thoughts keep trying to get to our brain. Those moments when you stutter it in front of people, when you pee on your bed, when you lost all your aura in some other cases. Oh, and here is a serious memory. Yes, you still remember when she left you. But still it didn't stop us from winning this meditation, earning respect from the monk mentor and buying a gym membership. We have 2 tasty boxes left, and first we will open the adventure one. Through the abandoned underground city, one of several parts of a series of games telling the story of searching for our brother and traveling through different worlds via doors. You simply click and solve puzzles in these games. First I combined a spear and a stone to hit the gun. Then we went upstairs and through the first door, here we found ourselves in a cave. We took an oil canister, filled it with oil, broke down a wall with a pickaxe, took a wheel for the minecart and after oiling it, sent it along the tracks. We press the button, lower the ladder leading to another door, but here there is a code. We exit the cave through the busted minecart opening, where we find a bunch of strange stones, solve another cube puzzle, then a metro puzzle, then install light bulbs that project symbols on the floor, then use these symbols as a code to the door, enter a strange white room, grab a doorknob, insert it into the door of the first world, and voila, the first game is complete. At least for me, it glitched and I got all the achievements. Next game, Tell Me Everything. The gameplay revolves around solving a crime by interrogating 3 suspects. The interrogation itself is a word puzzle game where you form sentences, and the golden words have more impact than the others. The story is about the murder of an antique store owner. A woman was the last to see him alive. A man passed by the store from the theater around time of the murder, but noticed nothing strange. And another guy parked his car at the store slot and then left in a hurry. I won't lie, this puzzle was a bit tricky for me, but I managed to find out that the woman heard the third guy driving away, and that this guy was listening to music, and that he was once the doctor of the woman's husband. So I thought about it and decided the woman was guilty. She just looked too suspicious. So I told the sheriff to arrest her, but as it turns out, you can just accuse someone without proof, so she was released. And because of a bug, I couldn't continue the investigation no matter how many times I restarted the scenario and the game itself. So I took justice in my own hands, secretly tracked down the woman, found evidence of the murder in her drawer and, like Batman, planted it with the prosecutor. And the last adventure for today is Weapon Genius. Not really an adventure, but a gun assembly simulator. A very simple and boring simulator. All you have to do is order parts online, but the emails button doesn't work for some reason. Then you assemble and weld everything on the workbench, and after that you can test the gun at the local range and earn money. But the game didn't quench my thirst for a good shootout, so let's move on to the last box. And now, Segfault. A game about a hacker trying to break into a system. We start by spending time at the command console, creating a user, logging in, and launching the game. And the second and most important part begins. We control some kind of flying device that can shoot white cubes and occasionally put up a shield to block enemy bullets. The key feature here is that you are constantly affected by the local 2G gravity, pulling you down along the y-axis, and yeah, you'd better not fly over the map either. It's a simple concept, but damn, it's addictive. Moving on. Federal Rescue. They tell us that our dad and we were cool cops, but crossed some evil politicians, and now dad is dead, and we have to avenge him. How should I say this? It's not exactly what I expected. But the shootouts are intense, yes, that's definitely the most exciting thing here. So the entire plot moves forward until we go to the helicopter, which for some reason doesn't want to take off. And then we get killed. I think I'd better forget I even launched this. And instead I will play Silicon 2, a game that gave me everything I was hoping for. Blood, shootouts, robots, big robots, and of course, beautiful women in uniforms. So we see a group of scientists testing the latest in military engineering, androids. And everything goes well. Almost. The androids have rebelled against their creators, and now we must stop them. I grab a weapon and start messing around a bit. Luckily, the allies only get mad at me for like 2 seconds. After wiping out all the colleagues, we head to the command center to get our next task. A Russian general tells us to go to a checkpoint where communication has been lost and find out what happened. So when we arrive, we realize everyone's dead, and we are immediately attacked by spider robots. But they are not that scary, though they can toast your butt a bit. After finding out the wave, we see that our comrades back at the base have been killed by androids. So we rush to save the general if he is still alive. By evening, we are attacked by robot tank, which can only be destroyed by blowing out the conveniently placed blue barrels set up by the general. Then we head up to the city to rescue the civilians, but all we find is the mayor.
В городе больше нет людей, все ушли.
And we spend the night with him in the library. In the morning, some people in white show up, and for some reason, they are our enemies. We kill them and take their blue barrels. These barrels come in handy for our battle with 2 robot tanks. We enter the bunker that the robots were guarding, defend ourselves against another wave of androids, and then face another robot tank. Finally, we reach a room where the glitched out robots just stand around doing nothing. And we escort the scientist to the door so he and another guy can open the door to the main reactor and robot incubator. After many attempts, deaths, and exploding barrels, we managed to destabilize the reactor and save the world. Cyberpunk we didn't deserve, but got anyway. It was an interesting experiment, but honestly, these key cards were definitely not worth the money. Oh my god, time flies so fast, it's time to sleep. See you later, guys. Bye bye.